did I wake up today? Why? Am I awake? Hey everybody, it's Tuesday. Yes. Everybody asking me, okay, Dave, what's your thoughts, opinion, this whole banning thing on the Magic cards? All right, here's the deal. Here's the score. These are fancy pieces of cardboard for a game that we play, and there's a significant dollar value attached to this. So is anything else we buy. Classic cars, lead miniatures, RC cars, bottles of lubricant and dildos in people's basements. These are a collection of things. They are worth value and they have money. Do they appreciate? Sometimes. Some things are more appreciated, like lube and dildos when you apparently need them at a party. Giggity. I wasn't at any of those parties. I don't know anything about that one. So, what I do know about is personal loss. And from a business standpoint, as a store owner and players, I play too. I have binders and personal stuff. If somebody comes out and reprints all this stuff again, and great. It's more people that want the things and can play the games and can now afford it because it's cheaper. However, there's a caveat with that. When we go out and spend money, hard-earned money, on things to play a game, to be part of a community, and that community at some point becomes overpowered by a certain segment. Let's call it CEDH. EDH, Elder Dragon Highlander. We all know where it came from. Commander was a spin-off from that. Later on, it took almost 2 decades plus for it to be a recognized, viable format. I played, at the time, it was called Singleton. I got out in 99, I got back in 2017. I didn't know there was a ban list. It was just cards we had in a stack that we played. Yeah, sure, we know there's formats like Type 1, Type 2. Yeah. Dating myself now. You young kids, look that up. Type 1 and Type 2. Type 2.5, Modified, I think they called it at one point. There's significant value in those cards. Hence the reserve list. Should the reserve list be done away with? Well, here's the thing. A bunch of you say, oh, get away from the reserve list and that. Bring back dual lands. We want Wheel of Fortunes. We want this. We want that. We want all these cards like Replenish and the Lion's Eye Diamond. And no. Why? Well, because here's the secret. WotC doesn't care about your value or your investment, okay? When you have a binder full of, let's see, just a random white binder that says lands on it. When you have a binder full of fetches and duels and shocks and all the full art, fancy, special, shiny, I'm a raccoon, I like shiny things, that cost money. More than just the basic version. Well, does that make you a catfish or a sucker? They're just reeling in your money. They're just reeling it in. So, if you don't have the money to lose, and you're banking on this stuff to be valuable in the future, it's already been proven time and time and time again, set after set after set. Anything in the past 5 years that I've seen since being back into this game that had any significant value has been reprinted. Not once, not twice, not this many times. And multiple sets. Most recently, in LCI, Lost Counters of Ixalan. Great standard set. Lots of big dumb creatures in there. The Timmies loved it. All the, Hulk Smash crowd loved it. It also had chase cards in there, like the Crypt. Mana Crypt in there. Not just one, like 7 versions of it. Myself included. I own a few of them. The shop has a bunch of them. $15, $16, $18, $2,300 worth of inventory now because of one rules committee saying, we don't like these cards. They're not good for the format. Why are they not good for the format is the question. Well, I hot take here. This is just me. This is me, the player, the person who says to you, nana nana boo boo, stick your head in doo doo. Shame on you. When the spirit of the game that Richard Garfield created in 1992 came out in 93 after all the playtest cards and things and that, and the power creep, and that's why we have the Power 9. There's certain cards that we know are stronger than other cards, and they're going to rise to the top and become part of this meta of cards that are super powerful. And as people become more competitive in playing, it's our own nature, they get abused. They hold value because more people want them because of what they can do with their decks with them. But it also stifles creativity. There is 66,000 or more now, not counting Secret Lairs and Alternate Arts, but just unique cards in this game. It's the most complex game in the world. It's got awards for it. AI and computers can't figure out a way to win the game every single time. That's the phenomenon of it. But what sucks is you take one human and another human, you put them in the same room, and they say, I'm going to beat you. No, I'm going to beat you. Well, I'm going to beat you with what I got. And then this guy beats this guy, and this guy runs away and goes to the LGS or to his friends and gets a binder out and says, hey, I want to buy this. This guy was using this card, and I want to use these things to beat him down because he beat me down on that. And then now he comes back to this guy and he says, I'm going to win. No, you're not. Remember what happened last time? Yeah, but I have new cards. Okay, so now they go head to head. And they're fighting, and they're fighting, and they're fighting, and they're going on and on and on. And eventually somebody wins, because whoever gets to that combo first and gets that thing to win, the win con, per se, wins. Commander is a social event. It's a community-based game of 2 players or 4 players or more players. I mean, we've played what we called Big Sloppies back in the day. We played Emperor. We played King's Court. All different versions of the same game. But there's a C80H version of this, which is just 1v1, down and dirty, fast and hard as you can get on it. Get wrecked. We call it Get Wrecked Nerds. FNM is Friday Night Magic. We have NFM, No Fun Monday. There is no fun except this one guy here who just goes to everybody else, and he says, I have the power. Well, guess what? Now you don't have the power anymore. Gotta go be creative. Go try different cards. Man, they took my power cards away. I can't run my combos anymore. I have my monkey. I don't have my... So what? Get over it. Go be creative. Because for every card, there's a card that downfell when a new expansion came out. An old card can come back up with new expansions. I don't know. Well, it's conspiracy theory time! Conspiracy theory! Oh, Dave's got a conspiracy theory! Wizards knew about this. The rules committee knew about this. There's a reason why the timing of this comes out just by chance after Duskmorn. We have this new thing, these rooms things, okay, whatever. They're pushing the game. Wizards has this thing with Hasbro where they don't give a shit about your personal collection. They care about entering to their stocks, their bonds, their douchebags in the 27th floor of their ivory tower. In power suits, not like this. I'm just dapper. In my pajamas, at home. But we all still suffer because at the end of the day, their business gets better by making new versions of the crap that we want to buy or need to play their game. Well, here's 2 options. A, ignore it. At Flights 2, we have a shop day for no ban list. Everybody said, oh, Post Malone, you're crazy. What do you can't play that card. And it's like, oh, it's no ban. My deck has no ban list. So why not play that way? Okay. Whoa. Brain explosion. Mind you, we have Magic Fest coming up in less than a month. This ban changes the meta. I fucking hate that word, but it does. It changes what people are playing. They're net deckers, you know. Back in the day, we only had magazines, and we had what our neighbors were playing as far as ways like if I'm in Albany, Syracuse, or Vermont, or maybe somebody, if you go so far as Boston, or you wait for the month to come out for a Scry magazine, or Wizards, or Inquest. That's the only way you can find out about different combos, or whatever we was playing or winning tournaments with. And all of a sudden, that became the thing. It was like, oh, how am I going to win this? And there were certain archetypes that became power combos. Like in 99 when I quit, I don't want to play it anymore because it just was not fun. I don't blame the committee for saying, okay, these cards are not fun. I am a big proponent of certain cards. For example, and I've harped on this before, and I'm going to say it again, Demonic Consultation and Thassa's Oracle combo. It's obnoxious. It's a win con. It's in there. People build decks to go find those cards. I don't think the problem is the cards. The problem is setting up for the combinations of said cards. So what should be changed in the rules committee is not banning of specific cards, except for like Biorhythm or Coalition Victory. I mean, clearly, back in the day, the stuff we have now is way more powerful in combination with stuff like that. But anyhow, getting off topic, don't ban the cards. Ban the combo. You can't win with a 7-10 split in bowling. Okay, why? Well, sure you can. Right, but what if you said, you know what? If you throw a spare, or you have that 7-10 split and you pick it up, that's fine. But what you can't do in Magic is say, I have a 7-10 split, and by the way I'm going to win is by picking up this card with my Demonic Tutor to get the 7-10 split because I have a special ball here that I can roll with 2 fingers and pick them both up at the same time and not have to hit a single pin. Just goes right down the middle of the lane and draws them in with a super dragnet or something like that with its concussive waves of epic energy. Energy's back in Magic now too. Or was. Rant over. Just want you guys to know, in another 5 or 10 days or 15 days, nobody's really going to care anymore. The attention span of gnats, the ADHD, squirrels at a rave mindset that we have with this game, there's always something new around the corner. What if this little banning thing going on right now is because it's needed for the health of the game? My theory, here it is. Here's the big scoop. I think in November they're gonna say there is gonna be a now official CEDH, C being competitive, not community, Elder Dragon Highlander Commander competitive format that will have its own set of rules, and probably the casual commander won't have a certain amount of cards. There's already been ban lists before that other people have played, and there's a big hullabaloo over people saying, like, we don't like this list they had. It's too restrictive. Well, no. What it is it's just restrictive because you are used to being crutched up with your support groups of your cards that you can't play anymore. Go be creative. Make new decks. You don't have to put the same 22 cards in the 40 decks that you have built already because they're staples. Use different stuff. Not every single deck has to play the same. If you only know how to play Magic one way, you'll never get any better. Get over it. Stop crying. Move on. They're going to keep making more cards. We're going to keep sucking them in, loving them, hating them, creating new combos. If that's what we got to do, then that's what we got to do. Move on. Get past it. Peace. Just my 2 cents. Well, like 10 cents. But the first 2 cents is free.